The same bustling hallway, now slightly quieter as some students shuffle into classrooms. Sarah. Grinning, smooth, Emma. Really smooth. The weather? Emma. Groaning, I panicked, okay? Could this day get any more embarrassing? As they approach Emma's locker, Sarah notices a small, folded note stuck in the vent. Sarah. Teasing, oh, what's this? Secret admirer alert. Emma, snatching the note. It's probably just some school flyer. Don't get excited. Emma unfolds the note. Her eyes widen as she reads it aloud quietly. Emma, meet me at the bleachers after school. Sarah, gasping, Jay? Do you think it's Jake? Emma, doubtful, it could be anyone. James, just Julie. Sarah, Julie? Really? Emma, rolling her eyes, you know what I mean. The bell rings and the girls head to class, but Emma can't concentrate all day, her mind racing with possibilities. After school, near the bleachers. The sun casts long shadows as Emma nervously approaches, clutching her bag tightly. Jake is leaning casually against the bleachers, scrolling on his phone. He looks up and smiles when he sees her. Jake, hey, you came. Emma, surprised. You? You're the one who left the note? Jake, guilty. Shrugs. I overheard what you said earlier about the dance. Emma, mortified, oh no. Please forget that. Jake, laughing, why would I? It was cute. And I was hoping you'd say yes, if I asked you to the dance. Emma's heart races as she tries to process what's happening. Emma, blushing, are you serious? Jake, grinning, dead serious. So, what do you say? Emma, smiling shyly, I love to. Jake smiles and walks her back toward the parking lot, the tension between them now replaced with a growing excitement. Later that evening at Emma's house. She's lying on her bed, phone in hand, texting Sarah. Emma's text, guess who's going to the dance with Jake? Sarah's text, OMG. Finally. Party popper. Emma grins, feeling like maybe, just maybe, this dance is going to be the start of something amazing. The days leading up to the dance are filled with excitement and preparation. Emma and Sarah are at the mall, searching for the perfect dress. Sarah, holding up a sequined gown. This screams, showstopper. Emma, eyeing the dress skeptically. It also screams, walking disco ball. Sarah, laughing, fair. But you need something that makes Jake stop and go, wow. Emma, smiling nervously, I just don't want to trip over my own feet and make a fool of myself. Sarah, encouraging, relax. He already likes you. Let's find something that makes you feel amazing. After trying on a few dresses, Emma steps out of the dressing room in a simple but elegant midnight blue gown. Sarah's jaw drops. Sarah, clapping, perfect. Jake is done for. The night of the dance. The gymnasium is transformed with twinkling lights and a shimmering dance floor. Students mill around, laughing and taking photos. Emma arrives with Sarah, who is already scanning the room for her own crush. Emma feels a flutter of nerves as she spots Jake near the punch bowl with Tom. Sarah, nudging her, go say hi. Emma, panicking, what if he thinks I look weird? Sarah, rolling her eyes, Emma, you look amazing. Now go before I push you over there. Emma takes a deep breath and approaches Jake. He looks up, his eyes widening when he sees her. Jake, smiling, wow. You look incredible. Emma, blushing, thanks. You clean up pretty well yourself. They laugh and Jake offers his hand. Jake, wanna dance? Emma nods, and they make their way to the dance floor as a slow song begins to play. They move hesitantly at first, but soon find their rhythm. Jake, softly, you know, I've been wanting to ask you out for a while. Emma, surprised, really? Why didn't you? Jake, grinning, I was waiting for the right moment. Guess the hallway wasn't it? Emma, laughing, well, you made up for it with the note. As the song ends, they stay close, both caught in the moment. Across the room, Sarah gives Emma a thumbs up while Tom teases Jake with exaggerated heart gestures. After the dance, Jake and Emma walk outside together, the cool night air refreshing after the warmth of the gym. Jake, glancing at her, so, this was a good idea, right? Emma, smiling, the best. Jake hesitates for a moment, then leans in and kisses her softly. Emma feels her heart skip a beat. Jake, pulling back, sorry, was that? Emma, grinning, perfect. They share a laugh before walking toward the parking lot, hand in hand, the night marking the start of something new. The school gym is decorated with string lights and colorful banners. Music is playing, and students are dancing. Emma is standing near the punch table, nervously glancing around. Emma, to herself, maybe this wasn't a good idea. Jake enters the room, dressed sharply, scanning the crowd. He spots Emma and walks toward her. Jake, grinning, hey, you made it. Emma, smiling shyly, yeah, I wasn't sure if I would. Jake, well, I'm glad you did. Pauses, offering his hand, care to dance? Emma hesitates, then places her hand in his. They walk to the dance floor, where a slow song begins to play. Jake gently places his hand on her waist, and they start swaying to the music. Emma, nervously, I'm not much of a dancer. Jake, chuckling, neither am I. But we'll figure it out together. They share a laugh, relaxing into the moment. Emma looks up at Jake, her cheeks flushed. Emma, thanks for asking me. Jake, softly, I wouldn't have asked anyone else. Their eyes meet, and the world around them seems to fade. A classmate accidentally bumps into them, breaking the moment. Emma, laughing nervously, guess we're not the only ones out here. Jake, smirking, let's find somewhere quieter. Jake leads Emma to the school's rooftop, where the night sky is dotted with stars. The sounds of the dance are faint in the background. Emma, looking around, wow, this is amazing. I didn't even know we could come up here. Jake, leaning against the railing, it's my favorite spot. Place to think. Emma, joining him, it's beautiful. Jake, glancing at her, so are you? Emma looks at him, surprised, but she doesn't turn away. Emma, you're full of surprises tonight, aren't you? Jake, smiling, maybe. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small sketchbook. Jake, I've been working on something. Emma, curious, a sketchbook? Jake flips through the pages, showing sketches of moments they've shared. Emma painting, sitting in class, laughing with friends. Emma, softly, you drew these? You inspire me. Emma looks at him, touched. She takes a step closer. Emma, whispering, you're amazing, Jake. They share a quiet moment, the stars shining brightly above them. Slowly, they lean in, sharing their first kiss. The next day, Emma sits in the art room, her paintbrush moving idly across the canvas. She's lost in thought, replaying the rooftop moment in her mind. Her best friend, Lily, bursts into the room. Lily, excitedly, okay, spill it. I saw you leave the dance with Jake. What happened? Emma, blushing, nothing, we just talked. Lily, raising an eyebrow, talked? You're practically glowing. Come on, Emma, give me something. Emma, smiling softly, we went to the rooftop. He showed me his sketches, to me. Lily, gasping, he drew you? That's so romantic. Emma, nodding, and then we kissed. Lily, squealing, oh my gosh. This is like something out of a movie. Well now, are you guys, like, together? Emma, hesitant, I don't know. We didn't really talk about that. Lily, grinning, well, you'd better figure it out because Jake is headed this way. Emma turns toward the door just as Jake walks in, carrying his sketchbook. He looks a little nervous but smiles when he sees her. Jake, hey, Emma, can we talk? Emma, nodding, sure. Lily takes the hint and quickly leaves, mouthing good luck to Emma as she goes. Jake sits across from Emma, placing his sketchbook on the table. Jake, rubbing the back of his neck, so, last night was amazing. Emma, smiling, yeah it was. Jake, pausing, I don't want to ruin anything, but I need to be honest. I've liked you for a while now. I just didn't know how to tell you. Emma, surprised, really? Jake, nodding, you're so talented, so passionate about what you do. I've always admired that about you. Emma, blushing, I never would have guessed. You always seemed so confident. Jake, laughing, trust me, I was terrified to talk to you. Emma, smiling, well, I'm glad you did. Jake, reaching for her hand, so, what do you think? Would you maybe want to go out with me? Like officially? Emma, smiling brightly, I'd like that. They share a warm smile, the room filled with unspoken promise. Jake opens his sketchbook to a new page and hands her a pencil. Jake, let's make something together. Emma, grinning, I'd love that. They begin to sketch on the same page, their hands occasionally brushing. Laughter and light fill the room as their journey together truly begins. The gym buzzed with energy as more students joined the dance floor. Colored lights spun across the room, reflecting off the decorations strung along the ceiling. The DJ transitioned to a slower song, and the mood softened. Jake, gently, would you like to keep dancing? Emma, heart racing, I'd love to. They moved closer, swaying to the music. Emma couldn't help but notice how perfectly her hand fit in Jake's, how easy it was to fall into step with him. Sarah, watching from the sidelines, whispering to a friend, they're so cute together, aren't they? The slow song ended, but Jake didn't let go right away. Jake, quietly, I've been meaning to ask you something for a while now. Emma, blinking in surprise, oh? What's that? Before Jake could answer, the DJ broke the moment with an announcement. DJ, all right everyone, it's time for the dance-off. Grab a partner and show us your moves. The crowd cheered as the upbeat music started. Jake, grinning, want to give it a shot? Emma, laughing, I'm not sure I'm ready for a dance-off, but why not? They joined the others on the floor, their awkward attempts at choreography turning into shared laughter. The judges' volunteer teachers pretended to scrutinize each pair, though it was clear they were just enjoying the show. When the dance-off ended, Jake and Emma collapsed into chairs near the refreshments table, catching their breath. Jake, playfully, okay, maybe we're not winning any awards, but that was fun. Emma, grinning, agreed. But I think you should stick to your day job. They laughed together, the ease between them growing. Jake, seriously now, what I wanted to ask earlier, would you like to go out with me? Not just at school stuff like this. A real date? Emma, eyes widening, really? Of course. The lights dimmed again for another slow song, and Jake stood, offering his hand. Jake, shall we celebrate your yes with one more dance? Emma, smiling brightly, absolutely. As they danced again, Sarah watched from across the room, clapping her hands together in triumph. Sarah, to herself, took them long enough. The night continued, filled with music, laughter, and a spark between Emma and Jake that only grew brighter with every moment. As the night carried on, the atmosphere in the gym became even more magical. Fairy lights twinkled along the walls, and students moved freely between the dance floor, the refreshment table, and clusters of laughter-filled conversations. Jake and Emma drifted toward a quieter corner after their last dance. The hum of the party faded into the background as they sat on a bench beneath a string of softly glowing lights. Jake, glancing at her, you know, I almost didn't come tonight. Emma, surprised, why not? You seem like the type who loves these things. Jake, shrugging, not really. But then Sarah said you might be coming and, well, I couldn't miss it. Emma felt her cheeks warm, her heart fluttering at the sincerity in his voice. Emma, softly, I wasn't sure if I wanted to come either. But Sarah convinced me to. Guess she knew something we didn't? Jake, laughing, I owe her a thank you. Across the room, Sarah was watching them again, this time with a satisfied smile. She leaned over to their mutual friend, Ryan. Sarah, smirking, told you they'd hit it off tonight. Now pay up. Ryan, groaning, fine. $5. But I still think they needed a push. Meanwhile, back in the corner, Jake and Emma continued their conversation, their connection growing stronger. Jake, so, Emma, what do you like to do outside of school? Besides being the best dancer on the floor tonight, obviously. Emma, laughing, hardly. But, I like reading. And writing, sometimes. It's kind of a secret hobby. Jake, that's cool. What kind of stuff do you write? Emma, hesitating, stories, mostly. About, well, people figuring things out. Like themselves or their dreams. Jake, smiling, sounds like something I'd want to read. The DJ announced the final song of the night, a nostalgic tune that had everyone cheering. Jake stood and offered his hand again. Jake, one last dance before the night ends? Emma, grinning, how could I say no? As they danced, surrounded by the glow of the lights and the warmth of the crowd, it felt like the world had shrunk to just the two of them. When the music ended and the gym began to empty, Jake walked Emma to the door. So, Saturday? Dinner? Maybe a movie after? Emma, smiling up at him, it's a date. He leaned in, brushing a soft kiss against her cheek, and Emma felt her heart skip a beat. As she joined Sarah outside, her best friend gave her a knowing look. Sarah, grinning, so? How'd it go? Emma, beaming, perfect. The two friends walked into the cool night, the stars above shining just as brightly as Emma's smile. And somewhere in the crowd, Jake stood watching her go, already counting down the days until Saturday. The diner hummed with soft chatter and the clinking of dishes. Neon signs cast a warm glow, and the smell of sizzling burgers filled the air. Emma and Jake sat across from each other, the remnants of their shared milkshake sitting between them. Jake, teasing, so the notebook, huh? I didn't peg you for a total romantic. Emma, laughing, what's wrong with a little romance? Besides, it's not just about love, it's about passion and never giving up. Jake, nodding, fair point. I guess I can get behind that. But now you have to guess mine. Emma, grinning, leaning forward, something action-packed, right? Fast and Furious? Jake, mock offense, ouch. I do have taste, you know. It's Inception. Emma raised an eyebrow. Emma, oh, so you're into mind-bending plots? Jake, smirking, guilty. Keeps things interesting. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, jumping from favorite movies to embarrassing childhood stories. Jake told Emma about the time he tried to build a treehouse but ended up stuck in the branches, while Emma recounted how she accidentally set off a fire alarm during a school play. The waitress approached with their food, a towering burger for Jake and a plate of loaded fries for Emma. Waitress, smiling, here you go. Let me know if you need anything else. Emma, playfully to Jake, I see you're sticking with the classics. Jake, grinning, you can't go wrong with a burger. But I'll trade you a bite for some of those fries. They exchanged bites, laughter erupting when Jake got ketchup on his nose. Emma reached over with a napkin to wipe it away, her hand lingering for a moment before pulling back. Jake, softly, thanks. Emma, smiling, you're welcome. As they finished their meal, the diner's jukebox started playing an old love song. Jake glanced toward it, then back at Emma. Jake, want to dance? Emma, surprised, here? No. Jake, standing, offering his hand, why not? It's just us in the jukebox. Emma hesitated for a moment before taking his hand. They moved to the small open space by the jukebox, swaying awkwardly at first but quickly falling into an easy rhythm. The other diners clapped and cheered, adding to the light-hearted atmosphere. When the song ended, they returned to their booth, cheeks flushed and smiles wide. Jake, that was fun. Definitely not something I'd normally do. Emma, me neither. But I'm glad we did. After paying the bill, they stepped outside into the crisp night air. Jake walked Emma to her car, the silence between them comfortable. Jake, pausing, I had a great time tonight. Emma, nodding, me too. Best first date ever. Jake leaned in, hesitating for just a moment before brushing his lips against hers in a gentle kiss. Emma, blushing, that was perfect. Jake, smiling, good. Let's make the next one even better. As Emma drove away, her heart felt lighter than ever, while Jake watched her taillights disappear, already planning their next adventure together. The second date. Setting, a sunny afternoon at the local park, with a small lake, vibrant trees, and the sound of birds chirping. Jake waited by the park entrance, holding a picnic basket. He spotted Emma walking toward him, her hair catching the sunlight. Jake, grinning, you're just on time. I was worried you'd bail after our impromptu diner dance. Emma, laughing, not a chance. That was the best part. They walked together, weaving through the park paths until they found a shaded spot by the lake. Jake spread out a checkered blanket while Emma peeked into the picnic basket. Emma, teasing, let's see if your picnic game is as strong as your dancing. Jake, smirking, prepare to be amazed. Inside, there were sandwiches, fresh fruit, and a small container of homemade cookies. Emma, surprised, did you make these? Jake, mock seriousness, baked them myself. It was a dangerous mission involving flour explosions and a slight fire alarm incident, but I survived. Emma, laughing, well, they look amazing. Bonus points for effort. They sat together, eating and sharing more about their lives. Emma talked about her dream of becoming a writer, and Jake confessed his love for photography. Emma, curious, photography, huh? Do you have a camera with you? Jake, grinning, always. Want to be my model for the day? Emma struck a playful pose, making Jake laugh as he snapped pictures. The laughter turned into genuine moments, with Jake capturing Emma's unguarded smiles and sparkling eyes. After lunch, they wandered along the lake, stopping to skip stones on the water. Jake, throwing a stone, so, if you could write about anything in the world, what would it be? Emma, thoughtfully, I think something about moments like this. How the little things can mean everything. Jake, smiling, that sounds like a story I'd want to read. They found a paddleboat rental nearby and spent the next hour laughing as they tried to steer. Jake, determined to captain the boat, ended up soaking wet when Emma accidentally splashed him with an oar. Jake, playfully, oh, you're in trouble now. Emma, laughing, holding up her hands, it was an accident, I swear. When they finally returned the paddleboat, the sun was starting to set. They walked back to the picnic spot to gather their things, pausing to admire the fiery orange and pink sky reflected on the lake. Jake, softly, it's beautiful, isn't it? Emma, nodding. It's perfect. Jake turned to her, his expression serious but warm. Jake, I'm really glad I met you, Emma. You make everything feel brighter. Emma, blushing, I feel the same way. He reached for her hand, and they stood together, watching the sunset until the first stars appeared. As they walked back to the car, Emma glanced at Jake, a playful smile on her lips. Emma, so what's next? Third date ideas? Jake, grinning, oh, I've got a few. But you'll have to wait and see. Their laughter echoed through the park, carrying with it the promise of something truly special. The park was quiet, save for the rustle of leaves in the gentle evening breeze. The golden glow of the setting sun bathed everything in warmth, casting long shadows over the path where Emma and Jake strolled before settling onto a wooden bench. Jake fiddled with the hem of his sleeve, glancing at Emma out of the corner of his eye. She was unusually quiet, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. Jake, lightly, you've got that look again. Emma, startled, what look? Jake, smiling, like you're thinking really hard about something. What's on your mind? Emma hesitated, biting her lip. She stared at the horizon, where the sun was dipping below the trees, as if searching for courage in the colors of the sky. Emma, softly, Jake, I need to tell you something. Her voice was so quiet that Jake leaned closer to hear her. Jake, gently, you can tell me anything, Emma. She turned to face him, her eyes shimmering with both fear and hope. Emma, nervously, I really like you. I think about you all the time. Being with you feels different. Special. Jake's expression softened as her words tumbled out. Jake, smiling, Emma? He reached for her hand, threading his fingers through hers. Jake, I really like you too. From the moment you walked into that dance, I couldn't take my eyes off you. And since then, I've just been happier. You make everything better. Emma's breath hitched, and for a moment, they simply looked at each other, the world around them fading away. Jake leaned in, closing the distance between them, and Emma met him halfway. Their kiss was soft, tentative at first, but it quickly deepened into something more, full of promise and unspoken emotions. When they pulled apart, Emma's cheeks were flushed, and Jake's smile was brighter than ever. Jake, playfully, well, that was definitely worth the wait. Emma, laughing, you're impossible. They sat together, their hands still entwined, as the last rays of sunlight disappeared, replaced by the first stars twinkling in the night sky. Emma, leaning her head on his shoulder, this is perfect. I don't want it to end. Jake, resting his head against hers, it doesn't have to. This is just the beginning. The park lights flickered on, casting a soft glow over the bench where they sat, lost in each other. Somewhere in the distance, the sound of a lone guitar drifted on the wind, adding to the magic of the evening. It wasn't just a confession, it was the start of something real, something that felt like forever. The school library, quiet and dimly lit. Emma sits alone at a corner table, her books spread out but untouched. Her mind races. Emma scrolls through her phone, pausing on a picture of her and Jake from a recent group outing. A small smile flickers on her face but fades quickly. Emma, softly to herself, maybe I misheard, or maybe he didn't mean it like that. Her best friend, Lily, approaches and sits across from her, noticing Emma's distant expression. Lily, hey, what's up? You've been MIA all morning. Emma, hesitant, nothing. Just thinking. Lily, spill it. I know that look. Emma sighs and recounts what she overheard in the hallway. Lily listens intently, her expression shifting between sympathy and indignation. Lily, okay, first of all, Jake's an idiot if he's not sure about you. But maybe he's just nervous. You know how guys are. Emma, sullen, nervous about what? He either likes me, or he doesn't. Lily, true. But relationships freak people out sometimes, especially when they're not used to them. Maybe he just needs time to figure it out. Emma, looking down, what if he decides I'm not worth it? Lily reaches across the table and squeezes Emma's hand. Lily, then he's blind and it's his loss. But don't jump to conclusions yet, okay? Talk to him. Jake's bedroom, cluttered but cozy. Jake lies on his bed, tossing a small basketball in the air. Tom sits in a chair, scrolling on his phone. Tom, without looking up, you've been weird all day. What's up? Jake, catching the ball and sitting up. I think Emma heard what I said earlier. Tom, finally paying attention. Oh, not great. Jake, groaning. Yeah, no kidding. She hasn't replied to my texts, and she's avoiding me. Tom, well, you kinda dug yourself a hole with that's not ready line. Jake, frustrated. It's not that I don't like her. I do. It's just, everything feels so serious. Like, what if I mess it up? Tom, dude, you're overthinking it. Just tell her how you feel, straight up. Girls appreciate honesty. Jake, pauses, nodding slowly. Yeah, I need to fix this. School courtyard, during lunch. Emma sits on a bench, picking at her sandwich. Jake approaches cautiously. Jake, hey, Emma. Emma looks up, her expression guarded. Jake, can we talk? Emma shrugs, sure. Jake sits beside her, fidgeting with the strap of his backpack. Jake, look, I think you might have heard what I said to Tom earlier. I didn't mean it like that. Emma, quietly, then how did you mean it? Jake, sighs, I like you, Emma. A lot. But relationships are a big deal, you know? I don't want to rush into something and mess it up. You're important to me. Emma, looking at him, so you're scared? Jake, nodding, yeah. But not of you of screwing things up. Emma, softening, you could have just said that. Jake, smiling slightly, I know. I'm an idiot. Emma, smirking, you said it, not me. They both laugh, and the tension eases. Jake reaches for her hand, and she lets him. Jake, can we figure this out together? Emma, nodding, but no more overheard conversations, okay? Jake deal. Emma's bedroom, filled with art and memories. The room is dimly lit, the only light coming from a desk lamp on a corner table. The walls are adorned with vibrant paintings, each a testament to Emma's creativity and dreams. Emma, her voice cracking barely above a whisper, you're scared? Scared of what, Jake? Of us? Jake steps closer, his voice softening. No, Emma. I'm scared of everything. Of failing you. Of not being enough. Emma takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. She turns toward Jake, her eyes filled with frustration and hurt. Emma, angrily, you've never been enough for me, Jake. But that was never the problem. The problem is you've never given us a chance. You've been pushing me away for months, pretending everything's fine when you were pulling back all along. Jake pauses, a flicker of guilt in his eyes. I didn't want to hurt you. Emma, bitter laugh. Too late for that, don't you think? Silence hangs in the air for a moment, the weight of their words settling between them. Jake, reaching out, voice trembling. Emma, please. I don't want to lose you. Emma pulls away slightly, her heart aching as she takes in the sight of the person she once loved so deeply. Emma, eyes watering, you've already lost me. You can't keep pretending you're scared of something you don't even understand. You've already given up on us, and I won't keep waiting for someone who doesn't want to fight for me. Jake's face crumples, his resolve faltering. He stands there, struggling with his emotions. Jake, whispers, I never wanted to lose you. Emma, voice barely a whisper, you already have. Emma walks away, the distance between them growing. She picks up her sketchbook from the desk and flips through the pages, her hands trembling. The room feels suffocating now. Jake, pleading, don't go. Please, we can fix this. Emma, pauses, not looking back, it's too late. I need to find myself again. I can't be with someone who's too afraid to love me. She turns and walks toward the door, leaving Jake standing alone, the echoes of her words hanging in the air. The breakup marks a pivotal moment for both Emma and Jake. For Emma, it's the beginning of reclaiming her own strength and understanding her worth. For Jake, it's the painful realization of what he's lost by letting fear control him. The story continues with both of them needing to confront their own fears and flaws before they can move forward, either separately or perhaps, one day, together. A few days later, in a quiet park near Emma's apartment, Emma sits on a bench, staring at the ground, her fingers absent-mindedly drawing patterns in the dirt. Emma, to herself softly, I should be angry. I should hate him for everything he's done, but I don't. I just feel lost. She closes her eyes, letting the gentle breeze wash over her. The park is peaceful, with the sounds of children laughing in the distance, and birds singing in the trees. A few minutes pass before Emma hears footsteps approaching. She opens her eyes and sees her best friend, Mia, standing in front of her with a concerned expression. Mia, sitting down next to Emma, how are you holding up? Emma shrugs, I don't know, Mia. I thought breaking up with Jake would make things clearer. But it feels like the opposite. Mia, gently, you've been through a lot. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. Emma sighs, I thought I was stronger than this. I thought I could just walk away and move on. But every time I close my eyes, I still see him. Mia, quietly, it's okay to still feel connected. Just because you end a relationship doesn't mean those feelings disappear right away. You've invested so much of yourself into it. Healing takes time. Emma looks down, her mind swirling with emotions she can't quite make sense of. Her fingers curl into her palms, trying to hold onto something, anything. Emma, looking up at Mia, what if I made a mistake? What if walking away from Jake wasn't the right choice? Mia takes Emma's hand gently. The only mistake would be staying in something that wasn't making you happy. You deserve someone who fights for you, not someone who's too scared to be with you. Emma nods slowly, her heart heavy but beginning to understand. Just then, a figure emerges from the trees, his presence undeniable. It's Jake, standing a few feet away, looking conflicted. His eyes lock with Emma's, and the weight of their shared past presses down on both of them. Jake, softly, Emma, can we talk? Emma stands up, her emotions crashing into her. She's not sure if she wants to hear him out or scream at him for the pain he's caused. Mia looks between the two of them, then stands up to give them space. Mia, to Emma quietly, I'll be over there if you need me. Emma nods, watching Mia walk a little further away. She turns back to Jake, her voice steady but filled with emotion. Emma, coldly, what do you want, Jake? After everything, you think you can just show up and fix this? You can't just waltz back in and expect me to trust you again. Jake takes a deep breath, voice cracking, I don't expect that. I need you to know that I'm sorry. I've been running away from my own feelings, and I hurt you because of it. I never meant to. Emma shakes her head, fighting back tears. But you did, Jake. You didn't just hurt me, you made me doubt myself. You made me feel like I wasn't enough. Jake, voice desperate, you are enough, Emma. You've always been enough. I just couldn't see it, couldn't see how much I was pushing you away until it was too late. Emma steps back, her eyes searching his face for any trace of sincerity. The pain is still fresh, but a part of her wants to believe him. Emma, softly, I don't know, Jake. I don't know if I can ever trust you again. Jake takes another step forward, voice gentle but firm, I understand. But please, let me show you that I can change. Let me prove that I'm not the person I was. Emma stands still, torn between the past they shared and the person she is becoming. A part of her still longs for the love they once had, but another part knows she can't keep holding on to someone who isn't willing to fight for her in the way she deserves. Emma, quietly, I can't do this right now, Jake. I need time. I need to figure things out for myself. Jake nods, his eyes filled with regret. Jake, softly, I understand. But no matter what, Emma, I'll be here. I'll wait for as long as it takes. Emma looks at him one last time before turning away, walking slowly back to where Mia is waiting. Jake stands still, watching her go, hoping that one day she'll find her way back to him, or at least find herself in a way that makes her stronger. Emma's art room, she's painting furiously, the canvas a swirl of angry red and black strokes. The room is filled with the sharp scent of paint, and the low hum of music plays in the background, barely audible over the tension in the air. Sarah, softly, standing at the door, Emma, you need to talk about it. Emma doesn't respond immediately, her brush moving wildly over the canvas, eyes fixed on the colors blending together. Sarah steps inside, unsure of how to approach her friend. Emma, frustrated, not looking up, what's there to talk about? He doesn't want me. Sarah, gently approaching, you don't know that for sure, Emma. You're letting your mind spiral. Emma, voice cracking, I saw the way he looked at her. How could I not see it before? She's everything I'm not, and he's so drawn to her. She's easy to love. I'm too much. Sarah moves closer, sitting down next to her, placing a hand on Emma's shoulder, trying to offer comfort through her silence. Emma takes a deep breath, her chest heaving with emotion, as she stares at the canvas, her hands trembling slightly. Sarah, softly, Emma, it's okay to feel hurt. But don't let this break you. You are more than whatever you think you're lacking right now. Emma finally looks at Sarah, her eyes filled with unshed tears, the raw emotion threatening to spill over. Emma, softly, almost to herself, I thought he was the one. I thought I could be enough for him. But now I'm just broken. Sarah looks at the art Emma's been working on, the chaos of colors mirroring the storm inside her. She's seen this side of Emma before, how she hides behind her art when she's hurting. Sarah squeezes her hand reassuringly. Sarah, determined, you are enough, Emma. You always have been. You can't define yourself by someone else's feelings. You are more than a relationship, more than a moment of doubt. Don't let him decide your worth. Emma's brush falters for a second as she absorbs Sarah's words, but the frustration creeps back in. She picks up a different color, slashing the canvas with more intensity. Emma, whispering, what if I'm not enough, Sarah? What if I can't do this without him? Sarah's eyes soften, her voice steady with years of understanding. Sarah, then you do it for yourself. You're not meant to be someone else's other half, Emma. You're whole on your own. And no matter what happens with him, you deserve love that sees you for everything you are, not just the parts that fit into someone else's story. Emma stops, the brush hovering in the air, and for the first time in a long while, the room feels quieter. She exhales slowly, the weight of her emotions still heavy but no longer suffocating. Emma, finally, with a hint of uncertainty, I don't know if I can be that strong. Sarah, smiling softly, you've already been that strong, Emma, and you will keep being. This is just the beginning of finding your own path. The silence that follows isn't empty. It's a quiet understanding as Emma slowly puts the brush down, staring at her painting, an abstract reflection of her pain, yes, but also of her potential to heal. For the first time in a while, she starts to believe that maybe, just maybe, she can move forward. On her own. The quiet hum of the art room continues, but the storm inside Emma seems to settle, if only for a moment. The brush rests on the table, and the weight of the silence is no longer suffocating. Emma looks at her unfinished painting, its aggressive strokes now seeming less like anger and more like a raw expression of where she is, right in this moment. Emma? Softly, almost hesitantly, you really think I can get past this? Sarah nods, her voice warm, I know you can. It's not about forgetting him, Emma. It's about finding who you are without him. You've been so focused on being with him, but there's so much more to you than just that relationship. You've been so much on your own before. Emma picks up her brush again, her fingers gripping it a little more confidently this time. Her gaze lingers on the canvas, as if contemplating the next step. Emma, quietly as if to herself, I used to paint for myself before he came along. Before I thought I had to be something else, something more, for him. Sarah, smiling, exactly. You were so free when you were just it. You can find that again, Emma. And when you do, you'll realize that you're not defined by someone else's love. You have your own. You've always had your own. Emma dips the brush into the paint, her eyes focused now, as she starts adding softer strokes to the canvas. The previous chaos still there, but now blending into something more intricate, more intentional. Emma, after a long pause, I don't know if I can ever truly stop loving him. But maybe it's okay to love him from a distance. Maybe that's where I'll find myself again. Sarah watches Emma work, a proud smile tugging at the corner of her lips. She can see it, the slow transformation from pain into something more liberating, more healing. Emma was finally allowing herself to be more than just the aftermath of the heartbreak. Sarah, standing up, heading toward the door, that's the spirit. And you don't have to do it alone, you know. I'm always here. We can't fix everything, but we can move through it together. You're not just a painter, Emma. You're so much more than that. Just wait and see. Emma watches Sarah leave, her presence a quiet reminder that there's support in unexpected places. As the door clicks shut behind Sarah, Emma takes a deep breath, the weight of the air in the room feeling different, lighter, more full of possibility. She steps back from the canvas, observing her work. The painting now feels like a journey, not an end. Her emotions, anger, sadness, confusion are still present, but they're starting to shift. And in that shift, she finds herself again. Emma, to herself, smiling faintly, maybe I'm stronger than I thought.